Ong Jr. is present. Honorable Datu Eric I. Perez is present. Honorable Roan Angela G. Rillion is still out. Honorable Betuvin S. Rubinos is present. Madam President, there are 12 members present. There is a quorum, Madam.
There being a quorum, this session is in order. Let us now proceed to the opening prayer to be led by Honorable Leo D. Revita, followed by the pambansang awit, panunumpa ng katapatan sa watawat ng Pilipinas, the Councilor's Creed, and the singing of the Tagum Mabuhay Ka March.
Hello. Let us place ourselves in the holy presence of God. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our most gracious and loving Heavenly Father, we humbly thank you for the privilege of gathering today together as we begin this regular session. We are deeply grateful for your constant presence, guidance, and protection in our lives. Thank you for the blessings of good health, wisdom, and strength, and the opportunity to serve with integrity and dedication. As we undertake the responsibilities entrusted to us today, we ask you to bless our deliberations with wisdom, understanding, and discernment. Enlighten our mind to seek what is right, inspire our hearts to act with compassion and fairness, and unite us in our shared commitment to promote the common good. Grant us the humility to listen with respect, the courage to uphold truth and justice, and the prudence to make decision that reflects honesty, accountability, and genuine concern for those we are called to serve. May all that we say that do this in the session be pleasing in your sight, bring honor and glory to your most holy name. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang mag-ibig, kaya sa sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng mag-ibig, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit ng bagaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkaya minamahal, ang isang matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagtitingin, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magtitingin. Luman ang araw ng walang pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang hindi kaya ng pagkay mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Ang panunumpa sa watawat ng Pilipinas. Ako ay Pilipino, buong katapatang nanunumpa sa watawat ng Pilipinas at sa bansang kanyang sinasagisag, na may dangal, katarungan at kalayaan, na pinakikilos ng sambayan ng makadiyos, makatao, makakalikasan at makabansa. The Councilor's Creed. I am a Philippine councilor mandated by law to enact measures and ordinances that redound to the general welfare of my constituents. In the pursuit of happiness, peace, and prosperity, I believe in public service above self as a guiding principle of my official act as I tread the pathways of local legislation. May the Almighty guide my mind and heart that I shall be true to my constituents and to the Filipino people.
Mga bukid niya at
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
We have with us today the junior city officials. This is in line to the celebration of the 2026 Youth Festival. So to our junior officials, welcome to the 52nd regular session of the 10th Sangguniang Panlungsod. Okay, let us now proceed to the next order. The reading and consideration of the minutes and journal of proceedings of the 51st regular session held on July 27, 2026. The chairperson, Committee on Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges, Attorney Edmar Tuacan, is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Considering that each and every member of the 10th City Council has been duly furnished with a copy of the minutes of the 51st regular session dated July 27, 2026, consisting a total of 89 pages, I therefore move to dispense with the reading of its full text. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Wacan, seconded by Councilors Uy Salazar, Rillion, Aala, Revita, Eliot, and Ong. There being no objection, the reading of the full text of the minutes of the 51st regular session is hereby dispensed with.
I move for the adoption of the minutes of the 51st regular session dated July 2026, consisting a total of 89 pages.
Moved by Councilor Wacan, seconded by Councilors Revita, Aala, and Eliot. Is there any discussion, any amendment, objection? There being none, therefore, the minutes of the 51st regular session, consisting of 89 pages, is hereby adopted. Proceed.
For the same reason, Madam Presiding Officer, that the Journal of Proceedings of the 51st regular session dated July 27, 2026, consisting of 36 pages, has been duly furnished to each and every member of the 10th City Council. I therefore move to dispense with the reading of its full text.
Moved by Councilor Wacan, seconded by Councilor Aala, Rillion, and Revita. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for the adoption of the Journal of Proceedings of the 51st regular session dated July 27, 2026, consisting a total of 36 pages. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Wacan, seconded by Councilors Aala and Rillion. Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore the Journal of Proceedings of the 51st regular session, consisting of 36 pages, is hereby adopted. Let us now proceed to the next order of business. The privilege are, yes, our Liga ng Barangay President, Honorable Vito S. Rubinos, is recognized.
Thank you. To our Honorable Presiding Officer, Honorable Vice Mayor Eva Lorraine Estabilio, to my fellow members of the 10th City Council, staff, our junior city officials, and to the listening public, good afternoon. On July 10, 2026, the 23 punong barangays of Tagum City convened for the regular monthly meeting. Among our invited guests were Dato Eric Perez, our City Indigenous People Mandatory Representative, or IPMR, together with Dato Nestor Tagalinaw, Executive Assistant 3, Head of Tribal Affairs Office, to discuss matters concerning our indigenous peoples or IP communities. One of the primary matters discussed was the expiration of terms of Barangay Indigenous People Mandatory Representatives of Barangays, and during the meeting, the 23 punong barangays received a document from the Office of the City IPMR indicating the respective end of term dates of each barangay IPMR. For the information of this august body, the terms of barangay IPMRs do not expire simultaneously. Rather, each term ends on a different date depending on the representative's date of assumption into office. Through the initiative of our City IPMR, Dato Eric Perez, all punong barangays were informed of the end of term schedule of their respective barangay IPMRs and were briefed on the process for the selection of their successors. Following the discussion, and in order to ensure the transparent, orderly, and credible selection process for the incoming barangay APMRs, the Liga ng mga Barangay Tagum City Chapter adopted a resolution requesting to the Office of National Commission on Indigenous People or NCIP, Davao del Norte Provincial Office, to provide the Liga ng mga Barangay Tagum City Chapter with the official list of registered indigenous peoples in every barangay of Tagum City. A copy of the said resolution was furnished to the NCIP on July 23, 2026 for its information and appropriate action. However, as of this date, the Office of the Liga ng mga Barangay has not yet received the requested official list. Considering that the urgency of this matter, the Office of the Liga ng mga Barangay Tagum City Chapter, in coordination with the Office of the City IPMR, respectfully requests the approval of our Honorable Presiding Officer, the City Mayor, for the conduct of a joint committee meeting to be led by the Committee on Indigenous Peoples, together with the Committee on Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges, and also to the Committee on Barangay Affairs. We likewise propose to invite representatives from the NCIP and the 23 punong barangays of Tagum City to discuss the selection process for the IPMRs in accordance with existing laws and NCIP guidelines, and also the submission of the official list of the registered indigenous peoples in every barangay. Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer.
Very well. Thank you for that information, Councilor Rubinos. So, when the meeting?
If okay, Madam Chair, August 6, 9 a.m.
That would be on Thursday, 9 a.m.
Yes. In addition, Madam Chair, I want to request the Office of the Secretary to the Sangguniang to send invitation of the office to the Office of the NCIP and to the Office of the 23 punong barangays of Tagum City. Thank you.
So, the Secretary to the Sangguniang is directed to please send the invitation and to calendar the meeting of the joint committee meeting to be held on August 6, 2026. Okay, so some more members? Yes, Councilor, our SK Federation President, Councilor Roan Angela Rillion is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Honorable Presiding Officer, distinguished colleagues in this august body, ladies and gentlemen, and to our public listeners, a pleasant day. I rise today on a matter of personal and collective privilege to bring to the attention of this honorable body the celebration of the Tagum City Youth Festival 2026, our city's official observance of the Linggo ng Kabataan, carrying this year's theme, Malalim at Malaya, Lasting Friendship for Sustainable Futures. Every year, the month of August reminds us of a national commitment, not merely to celebrate young people, but to recognize their indispensable role in nation building. The theme Malalim at Malaya reminds us that genuine friendships are not built on convenience, but on shared values, mutual respect, and common vision for the future. Malalim speaks of relationships anchored on trust, purpose, and solidarity. Malaya represents the freedom of our youth to dream boldly, participate meaningfully, and lead responsibly. Together, these ideas cultivate communities capable of creating sustainable futures, not only environmentally, but socially, economically, and politically. This theme echoes the timeless words of our national hero, Dr. Jose P. Rizal, who famously declared that ang kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. More than a century later, these words remain as relevant as ever. However, hope is not something we merely inherit. It is something we nurture. Our youth become the hope of our nation only when we provide them with opportunities to participate, to serve, to innovate, and to lead. The future of our city and our country depend on how we empower them today. This celebration is not simply a tradition nor a ceremonial event. It is a legal mandate founded upon our national laws and constitutional principles. The 1987 Philippine Constitution, under Article 2, Section 13, explicitly recognizes the vital role of our youth in nation building and directs the state to promote and protect their physical, moral, spiritual, intellectual, and social well-being while encouraging their involvement in public and civic affairs. This constitutional mandate is operationalized through Republic Act No. 10742, otherwise known as the Sangguniang Kabataan Reform Act of 2015, which institutionalizes youth participation in governance and mandates programs that strengthen youth leadership, volunteerism, and civic engagement. Likewise, the Local Government Code of 1991 recognizes the Sangguniang Kabataan as an integral institution within local governance, ensuring that young people have meaningful representation in policy-making and community development. Thus, the annual observation of the Linggo ng Kabataan is not merely optional. It is a fulfillment of our constitutional duty and our statutory responsibility to invest in the next of leaders. As the President of the Panlungsod na Federasyon ng mga Sangguniang Kabataan ng Tagum and as the Chairperson of the Tagum City Youth Development Council, I take this opportunity to warmly invite all of our fellow Tagumeños to actively participate in all the activities lined up for this year's Tagum City Youth Festival. Beyond the citywide events, I also encourage everyone to support and take part in various programs and initiatives organized by each Sangguniang Kabataan Council across our 23 barangays. These activities have been thoughtfully designed to promote leadership, volunteerism, health, sports, culture, environmental stewardship, entrepreneurship, and active citizenship among our young people. To our parents, educating organizations, government agencies, and every stakeholder present today, I humbly invite you to join us in making this celebration meaningful. Youth development is never the responsibility of one institution alone. It is a shared commitment of our entire community. Finally, Madam Presiding Officer, with the permission of this distinguished body, I respectfully request to move for a minute recess to formally introduce the selected junior youth officials of Tagum City for 2026 and for a photo opportunity who are present with us today. Their selection reflects the continuing commitment of our city to develop future public servants and responsible leaders through meaningful youth participation in governance. May these young leaders be inspired by the work of this honorable council, and may we, in turn, continue to inspire confidence in the institutions that they aspire one day to serve. With that, I thank this honorable time and unwavering support for the youth of Tagum City. Daghang salamat, and as always, all for the youth of Tagum. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councilor Rillion. So any members who would like to ask questions? There being none, so when will be the picture taking? Right now?
Right now po, kung pwede.
Okay. So with that, the chair declares for a few minutes recess. like to avail of the privilege? There being none, let us now proceed to the question hour. Do we have invited guests?
We have none, Madam President.
Let us now proceed to the reading and referral of proposed measures.
Madam Chair, for our measures on first reading, items under ordinances. Draft City Ordinance number 116, series of 2026, an ordinance regulating the sale, serving, and consumption of alcoholic beverages within the territorial jurisdiction of the City of Tagum and providing penalties for violation thereof. Author is Councilor Lemos.
Draft City Ordinance number 116 is referred to the Committee on Peace, Order, and Public Safety and Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges.
Under letters and communications, number 1, letter dated July 28, coming from the Honorable City Mayor Ray T. Uy. This pertains to the application for accreditation of OFW Family Circle Association as a civil society organization in the City of Tagum with office address at JV Ayala Avenue, Apacon, Tagum City, as a civil society organization.
Item number 1 is referred to the Committee on Special Bodies.
Number 2, letter dated July 29, still coming from the Honorable City Mayor, pertaining to the Local Health Board resolutions for appropriate action. To it, letter A, LHB Resolution number 7-A, series of 2026, a resolution requesting the Sangguniang Panlungsod to adopt the annual operational plan for calendar year 2027 of the City Health Office of Tagum in support of the implementation of the Universal Healthcare Act and the strengthening of the citywide health system.
Local Housing Board Resolution number 7-A is referred to the Committee on Health.
Letter B, LHB Resolution number 9-A, series of 2026, a resolution requesting the Sangguniang Panlungsod to enact a city ordinance adopting and institutionalizing the provisions of Provincial Ordinance number 2025-005 entitled An Ordinance Establishing the Province-Wide Health System and the Healthcare Provider Network, including its management support systems, and appropriating funds therefore in support of the implementation of the Universal Healthcare Act in Tagum City.
LHB Resolution number 9-A is referred to the Committee on Health and Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges.
And letter C, Madam Chair, is LHB Resolution number 12-A, a resolution requesting the Sangguniang Panlungsod to enact appropriate legislative measures and to endorse to the Department of Health the request for the deployment of a rural health physician to the City Health Office of Tagum under the Doctors to the Barrios program.
Local Housing Board Resolution number 12-A is referred to the Committee on Health.
Number 3, letter dated July 17, coming from Honorable Clarita B. Rey, the Punong Barangay of Magdum, pertaining to supplemental budget number 2 for CY 2026 of Barangay Magdum, appropriating the sum of 180,000 pesos only.
Item number 3 is referred to the Committee on Barangay Affairs and Finance, Budget, and Appropriations.
Number 4, letter dated July 17, coming from Honorable Alfredo B. De Vera Jr., Punong Barangay of Visayan Village, and this pertains to the supplemental budget number 1 for 2026 of Barangay Visayan Village, appropriating the sum of 7,671,788 pesos and 24 centavos only.
Item number 4 is referred to the Committee on Barangay Affairs and Finance, Budget, and Appropriations.
Number 5, letter dated July 29, coming from Honorable Eva Lorena Estabilio, our City Vice Mayor. This pertains to the letter from Tagum Water Vendors Refilling Association with attached board resolutions and proposed ordinances.
Item number 5 is referred to the Committee on Trade, Commerce, and Industry, Health, and Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges.
Number 6, a letter dated July 29, coming from the Honorable City Mayor Ray T. Uy, pertaining to the proposed amendment to the Memorandum of Agreement between the Department of Transportation and the City Government of Tagum for the implementation of the Tagum Active Transport Infrastructure Project with a total project cost of 28,200,000 pesos, which was previously authorized under Sangguniang Panlungsod Resolution number 634, Series of 2025, duly adopted on April 20, 2026, and this is for urgent action.
Item number 6 is referred to the Committee on Public Works, Facilities and Utilities, Finance, Budget and Appropriations, and Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges.
Madam President, just this morning, our office was in receipt of 2 sets of documents endorsed by and certified urgent by the local chief executive under letters and communications, Madam Chair. Letter dated July 31 coming from the Honorable City Mayor Ray T. Uy, pertaining to the revised draft memorandum of agreement between the Department of Social Welfare and Development through the Social Technology Bureau and the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Field Office 11, for the implementation of APOCO, Kwento ni Lolo't Lola, Gabay ng Kabataan project in the city of Tagum for urgent action. Madam.
Addendum item number 1 is referred to the Committee on Gender and Development, Children, Family Welfare, and Social Services, and Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges. This is for urgent action.
And lastly, the letter dated August 3, coming from the Honorable City Mayor Ray T. Uy, pertaining to a draft resolution authorizing the City General Services Officer, Mr. Roger J. Dompol, and or the City Legal Officer, Attorney Neil John A. Villarico, to institute, file, and sign the appropriate criminal, civil, and administrative actions, including all necessary pleadings, complaints, affidavits, verifications, certifications, and other legal documents against any person or persons responsible for the theft, unlawful taking, misappropriation, or other unauthorized disposition of properties of the city government of Tagum, still for urgent action.
Addendum item number 2 is referred to the Committee on Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges. Let us now proceed to the next order of business, the committee reports. First to report is from the Committee on Public Works. Attorney Wakan is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. This pertains to Committee Report Number 8, Series of 2026, submitted by the Committee on Public Works, Facilities and Utilities, dated July 29, 2026, held at SP Session Hall, New City Hall Building. The subject matter pertains to the letter dated July 9, 2026, from Honorable Ray T. Uy, City Mayor, addressed to the Honorable Members of the Sangguniang through Honorable Eva Lorraine E. Estabilio, City Vice Mayor, duly received by the Office of the Secretary to the Sangguniang on July 10, 2026, the herein City Peace and Order Council, CPOC Resolution Number 5, Series of 2026, requesting the Sangguniang Panglusod to pass a resolution urging the Department of Public Works and Highways, the DPWH, Davao del Norte District Engineering Office, to reconfigure the center islands along Daang Harlika Highway, adjust their spacing, and install, remove, or improve traffic signages within Tagum City to enhance road safety and traffic flow for appropriate action. Madam Presiding Officer, considering that each and every member has been duly furnished with a copy of this Committee Report Number 8, 2026, I therefore move to dispense with the reading of its full text. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Wakan, seconded by Councilors Catayas, Ala, and Iliot. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for the adoption of the Committee Report Number 8, Series of 2026.
Any discussion?
A brief discussion, Madam Presiding Officer. The committee deemed it proper to schedule another committee hearing on August 5, 2026, as recommended on the previous conducted committee hearing, inviting the following: Engineer Arnel Bernardino, the project engineer of DPWH Regional Office 11, Engineer Drazer Toralba, the contractor of the traffic lights, J.D. Lindo Construction, authorized representative from DPWH First Engineering District Office, and Engineer Roosevelt Corporal, our city engineer, and Mr. Joseph Nelson Briones, the City Information Communications Technology Management Office. And also, part of the recommendation, Madam Presiding Officer, that we require the DPWH Regional Office to submit and furnish the City Government of Tagum the approved traffic signalization plan adopted by the said office prior to the installation of the traffic lights.
Thank Thank you for that information. From the chair, may we know who the chairperson of this committee is?
The chairperson is headed by Engineer June Coquilla, Agripino Coquilla Jr., Madam Presiding Officer, who was indisposed during the said meeting as he was on official travel. And the vice chair was also indisposed considering of the health issue during that scheduled committee hearing. So as a member, I was tasked to preside the committee hearing.
Very well, Councilor Wakan, kindly make the necessary amendments since as reflected on the face of the committee report, it seems that there are two chairpersons of the committee. So it's reflected on page 1 and page 3 of the committee report. Attendance.
Madam President, are we referring to the same copy, Madam Presiding Officer?
Yes, the Committee on Public Works, Committee Report number 8.
Yes, okay. We will introduce the necessary amendments, Madam Presiding Officer.
Very well, proceed with the amendment.
As to the first page, may we move that the chairperson, maybe as indicated, be replaced with the presiding officer only. The chairperson be deleted.
And replaced with the word member.
Member, replaced with the word member.
Moved by Councilor Wakan, seconded by Councilors Catayas, Uy, Salazar, Aala, and Eliot. Is there any discussion to the amendment, objection, amendment to the amendment, objection to the amendment? There being none, therefore that amendment is hereby approved. Also in page 3.
Also, on page 3, Madam Presiding Officer, the word chairperson indicated below the presiding officer, Councilor Edmark Owakan, be deleted and be replaced with the words member. The member-committee on public works, facilities, and utilities.
Moved by Councilor Wakan, seconded by Councilors Catayas, Rillion, and Aala. There being no objection, that amendment is hereby approved. Is there any objection? There being none, therefore, Committee Report number 8 submitted by the Committee on Public Works, Facilities, and Utilities is hereby adopted with 2 amendments. Let us now proceed to the next committee report from the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Appropriation. The Vice Chairperson, Dato Eric Perez, is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. For in behalf of the members of the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Appropriation, allow me to render this committee report number 12, series of 2026. This was conducted last July 28, 2026 at 10:25 in the morning with 2 subject matters, Madam Presiding Officer. Item number 1 is resolution number 13, series of 2026. A resolution adopting and endorsing the draft resolution entitled a resolution authorizing the reactivation of dormant deposit accounts maintained by the city government of Tagum with the Land Bank of the Philippines and the Development Bank of the Philippines, and authorizing the city mayor and other authorized officials to execute all documents necessary for the reactivation for appropriate legislative action. Item number 2, Madam Presiding Officer, is the resolution number 12, series of 2026, a resolution endorsing the draft resolution entitled a resolution declaring the savings in the amount of 4,629,998 pesos from the loan proceeds under term loan number 3 of the 740 million loan facility with the Land Bank of the Philippines for the project acquisition and installation of solar lights, and approving the reallocation from declared savings to the project acquisition and installation of solar power system for appropriate legislative action. Considering that all members has a copy of this committee report, Madam Chair, number 12, I therefore move to dispense with the reading of its politics.
Moved by Dato Eric Perez, seconded by Councilors Catayas, Ala, and Elliott. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed.
I move for its adoption, Madam Presiding Officer.
Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, yes, discussion? Councilor Aala is recognized.
A moment to recess, Honorable Chair.
The
I approach
chair
your bench.
declares for a few minutes recess.
Observer of the veteran public. Amendment, Madam Chair,
Proceed.
that the item number 1, resolution number 13, should replace the item number 1, LFC resolution number 13, series of 2026, Madam Chair. I so move.
Moved by Datu Eric Perez, seconded by Councilors Aala and Catayas. Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none.
Another amendment,
Therefore,
Madam Chair.
that amendment is hereby approved. Yes, proceed.
Another amendment, Madam Chair, on item number 2 should be replaced on item number 2, Local Finance Committee Resolution number 12, series of 2026. Madam Chair, I so move.
Moved by Datu Eric Perez, seconded by Councilor Vita. There being no objection, that amendment is hereby approved.
I move for its adoption, Madam Chair.
Yes. So, is there being none? Therefore, committee report number 12, submitted by the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Appropriation, is hereby adopted with 2 amendments. Next committee report from the Committee on Youth and Sports, Councilor Rillion is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Submitting before the Council is the Joint Committee Report number 1, series of 2026, submitted by the Committee on Youth and Sports Development with 1 subject matter. This is in relation to Draft Resolution number 794, series of 2026, a resolution commending and congratulating Mateus Von Johnson, athlete of Philippine National Youth Archery Team, for winning 4 gold medals in under-18 compound men in the 2026 Singapore Youth Archery Championships competition held on July 3 to 5, 2026 at Bukit Gombak Stadium, Singapore. Madam Presiding Officer, assuming that all members have been given the said committee report, for this reason, Madam Presiding Officer, I move to dispense with its reading.
Moved by Councilor Rillion, seconded by Councilor Uy Salazar and Catayas. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed.
Madam Presiding Officer, I move for its adoption.
Moved by Councilor Rillion. Is there any discussion?
None.
Amendment, objection. There being none, therefore, committee report number 1, submitted by the Committee on Youth and Sports Development, is hereby adopted. Next, committee report from the Committee on Livelihood, Councilor Arthur Ong.
Yes.
Recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And on behalf of the Joint Committee, presenting to you the Joint Committee Report number 2, series of 2026, submitted by the Committee on Livelihood Projects and Committee on Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges, held at the SP session at 8:30 a.m. with 2 subject matters. Number 1, the letter dated July 17, 2026 from the Honorable Ray T. Uy, City Mayor, addressed to the Honorable Members of the Sanggunian through Honorable Eva Lorraine Estabilio, City Vice Mayor, duly received by the Office of the Secretary to the Sanggunian on July 21, 2026. The herein draft Memorandum of Agreement between the City Government of Tagum and the following establishments for the implementation of the Community-Based Training for Enterprise Development Program for appropriate actions to it. Number 1, 101 Wellness Spa, and number 2, KACC Auto Car Center. And letter number 2, a letter dated July 16, 2026 from Honorable Ray T. Uy, City Mayor, addressed to the Honorable Members of the Sanggunian through Honorable Eva Lorraine Estabilio, City Vice Mayor, duly received by the Office of the Secretary to the Sanggunian on July 17, 2026. The herein draft Memorandum of Agreement between the City Government of Tagum and the following establishments for the implementation of the Community-Based Training for Enterprise Development Program for appropriate action to it. Visayan Village Tagum Rural Waterworks and Multi-Service Cooperative and RRC Car Care Center. Madam Chair, since copies of the said committee report number 2 have already been furnished to this august body, I move to dispense with the reading of the full text.
Moved by Councilor Ong, seconded by Councilors Luis Salazar, Rillion, Catayas, and Aala and Eliot. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its adoption, Madam Chair.
Is there any discussion? Amendment, objection? There being none, therefore, Joint Committee Report number 2, submitted by the Committee on Livelihood Projects and Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges, is hereby adopted.
Thank you.
Next committee report Councilor Uy Salazar is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. This is Surrender Joint Committee Report Number 2, Series of 2026, submitted by the Committees on Science and Technology, Education, and on Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges. The subject matter of this report is the 32nd Regular Session Letter Number 2, the Draft Memorandum of Agreement between the Mapua Malayan Colleges Mindanao and the City Government of Tagum for the conduct of research and innovation on the Road Marker Project for appropriate action. And since all members have already been furnished with copies of this committee report, I move to dispense with the reading of its full text.
Moved by Councilor Uy Salazar, seconded by Councilors Aala and Catayas. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its adoption.
Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore Joint Committee Report Number 2, submitted by the Committee on Science and Technology, Education, and Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges is hereby adopted. Next.
Another one, Madam Presiding Officer.
Proceed.
This is Surrender Joint Committee Report Number 2, Series of 2026, submitted by the Committees on Health, Gender, Equality and Development, Children and Family Welfare, and Social Services, and on Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges. The subject matter of this report is the first regular session refiled letter number 11, the draft city ordinance amending the title, sections 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 of City Ordinance number 35, series of 2002, entitled An Ordinance Institutionalizing the Pre-Marriage Counseling Program of the City of Tagum, providing its policy, guidelines, and for other purposes for appropriate action. And since all members have already been furnished with copies of this committee report, I move to dispense with the reading of its full text.
Moved by Councilor Uy Salazar, seconded by Councilors Aala and Catayas, and also Revita. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its adoption.
Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore, Joint Committee Report Number 2, submitted by the Committee on Health, Gender and Development, Children, Family Welfare, and Social Services, and Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges is hereby adopted. Next committee report from our Liga ng Barangay President, Councilor Rubinos.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. This is Joint Committee Report Number 1, Series of 2026, submitted by the Committee on Barangay Affairs, together with the Committee on Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges, and Committee on Youth and Sports Development, dated July 29, 2026, with the subject matter: Barangay Ordinance Number 30, Series of 2026 of Saguniang Barangay of Magugpo South, Tagum City, entitled An Ordinance Establishing and Institutionalizing the Teen Tambayan Youth Development Center of Barangay Magugpo South as a community-based youth-friendly facility for adolescent health, positive youth development, leadership formation, and community engagement. Creating Team Tambayan Governing Board, defining the power, functions, duties, and responsibilities of implementing officials and personnel, providing for this its administration, management, and operation, appropriating funds thereof, and for other purposes. Considering that all members present has a copy of this committee report, I move to dispense the reading of the full text of the said committee report, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubino, seconded by Councilors Aala, Rillion, and Catayas, and there being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its adoption, Madam Presiding Officer.
Any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore Joint Committee Report Number 1, submitted by the Committees on Barangay Affairs, Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges, and Youth and Sports Development is hereby adopted. Last committee report.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. This is Joint Committee Report Number 7, Series of 2026, submitted by the Committee on Barangay Affairs and Committee on Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges, dated July 29, 2026 at SP Session Hall, with the subject matter: Barangay Ordinance Number 20, Series of 2025, entitled An Ordinance Mandating Purok Cleanup Drive of Barangay Magugpo South, providing penalties for violation thereof, and for other purposes for appropriate action. Considering that all members present has a copy of this committee report, I move to dispense the reading of the full text of the said committee report, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubino, seconded by Councilors Aala and Catayas. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its adoption, Madam Presiding Officer.
Any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore, Joint Committee Report Number 7, submitted by the Committee on Barangay Affairs and Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges, is hereby adopted. Summary Committee Reports, there being none, let us now proceed to the calendar of business. The Chairperson, Committee on Laws, Rules, Regulations, and Privileges, is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. I move for the approval and adoption of the calendar of business as stated in the notice of the 52nd regular session dated August 3, 2026.
Moved by Councilor Wacan, seconded by Councilor Aala and Catayas and Revita. Any amendments to the calendar of business? Let us discuss first, consider first for discussion the urgent matters like from the DSWD because we have guests. Yes, Councilor Revita is recognized.
Hello. Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. May I ask the Secretary what is the number of the resolution?
Madam Chair, that would be resolution number 837.
Thank you, sir. Considering its urgency for inclusion under an assigned business, resolution number 837, series of 2026, a resolution authorizing the local chief executive, Honorable Ray Uy, to enter into and sign in behalf of the city government of Tagum the memorandum agreement with the Department of Social Welfare and Development through the Social Technology Bureau of Department of Social Welfare and Development, Field Office, the implementation of Apuko, Kwento ni Lolo't Lola, Gamay ng Kabataan project in the city of Tagum. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Revita, seconded by Councilors Uy, Salazar, Rillion, Catayas. There being no objection, therefore resolution number 837 is included under an assigned business. Some more inclusions. Councilor Rubinos.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Amendments for inclusion under an assigned business. Resolution number 838, a resolution confirming appropriation ordinance number 1 series of 2026 sa sangguniang barangay o sorry, Madam Presiding Officer. Resolution number 838 a resolution a minute recess, Madam. A minute
Chair
recess.
declares for a recess. 838.
amendments for inclusion under an assigned business. Resolution number 838, resolution confirming Barangay Ordinance number 30, series of 2026 of the Sangguniang Barangay of Magugpo South, Tagum City, Davao del Norte. I move for its inclusion, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubino, second by Councilor Aala and Rillion. There being no objection, therefore resolution number 838 is included under an assigned business.
Another amendments for inclusion, Madam Presiding Officer, under an assigned business. Resolution number 839, a resolution returning Barangay Ordinance number 20, series of 2025 of the Sangguniang Barangay of Magugpo South, Tagum City, Davao del Norte. I so move for its inclusion, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubino, seconded by Councilor Uy Salazar, Aala, and Perez. There being no objection, therefore resolution 839 is included under an assigned business. Councilor Wakan.
For inclusion, Madam Presiding Officer, is draft resolution number 840, a resolution authorizing the City General Services Officer, Mr. Roger J. Dompol, and or the City Legal Officer, Attorney Niljan A. Villarico, to institute, file, and sign the appropriate criminal, civil, and administrative actions, including all necessary pleadings, complaints, affidavits, verifications, certifications, and other legal documents responsible for the theft, unlawful taking, misappropriation, or other unauthorized disposition of properties of the city government of Tagum. For inclusion, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Uy Salazar, Aala, and Rillion. There being no objection, therefore resolution number 840 is included under an assigned business. Summer inclusions, Councilor Wakan.
For inclusion, Madam Presiding Officer, is draft resolution number 841, a resolution authorizing the City Mayor, Honorable Ray T. Uy, to enter into and sign for and in behalf of the City Government of Tagum the amended Memorandum of Agreement with the Department of Transportation for the establishment of active transport infrastructure project in Tagum City. For inclusion, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Wakan, second by Councilors Aala and Catayas. There being no objection, therefore resolution number 841 is included under an assigned business. Councilor Uy Salazar is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. May I ask for a draft city ordinance number from our Secretary to the Sanggunian?
Yes, Madam Chair, that is draft city ordinance number 117.
117. Madam Presiding Officer, move for inclusion under an assigned business, draft city ordinance number 117, series of 2026, an ordinance institutionalizing the pre-marriage orientation and counseling or PMOC program of the City of Tagum, providing its policy, guidelines, funding, and for other purposes.
Moved by Councilor Uy Salazar, seconded by Councilors Aala, Revita, and Catayas. There being no objection, therefore draft city ordinance number 117 is included under an assigned business. Councilor Ong is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. For inclusion under an assigned business, resolution number 842, series of 2026, a resolution authorizing the City Mayor, Honorable Ray T. Uy, to sign for and in behalf of the City Government of Tagum, the Memorandum of Agreement with the 101 Wellness Spa for the implementation of the on-the-job training component of the Community-Based Training for Enterprise Development Program. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Ong, seconded by Councilors Catayas, Revita, and Aala. There being no objection, therefore resolution number 842 is included under an assigned business.
Another, Madam Presiding Officer. For inclusion under an assigned business, resolution number 843, series of 2026, a resolution authorizing the City Mayor, Honorable Ray T. Uy, to sign for and in behalf of the City Government of Tagum, the Memorandum of Agreement with the KACC Auto Care Center for the implementation of the on-the-job training component of the Community-Based Training for Enterprise Development Program. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Ong, seconded by Councilors Aala, Revita, and Catayas. There being no objection, therefore, resolution number 843 is included under an assigned business.
Another, Madam Presiding Officer, for inclusion under unassigned business, Resolution Number 844, Series of 2026, a resolution authorizing the City Mayor, Honorable Ray T. Uy, to sign for and in behalf of the City Government of Tagum, the Memorandum of Agreement with the Visayan Village Tagum Rural Waterworks and Multi-Service Cooperative for the implementation of the on-the-job training component of the Community-Based Training for Enterprise Development Program. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Ong, seconded by Councilor Aala and Catayas. There being no objection, therefore Resolution Number 844 is included under unassigned business.
Finally, Madam Presiding Officer, for inclusion under unassigned business, Resolution Number 845, Series of 2026, a resolution authorizing the City Mayor, Honorable Ray T. Uy, to sign for and in behalf of the City Government of Tagum, the Memorandum of Agreement with the RRC Car Care Center for the implementation of the on-the-job training component of the Community-Based Training for Enterprise Development Program. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Ong, seconded by Councilors Aala, Revita, and Catayas. There being no objection, therefore Resolution Number 5 is included under unassigned business.
Thank you.
Summer inclusions, Councilor Rillion is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. I move to include draft resolution number 794, series of 2026, with the title, A Resolution Commending and Congratulating Mr. Mateus Von Johnson, athlete of the Philippine National Youth Archery Team, for winning 4 gold medals in the under-18 compound men category of the 2026 Singapore Youth Archery Championship held on July 3 to 5, 2026 at Bukit Gombak Stadium, Singapore. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Rillion, seconded by Councilor Aala and Catayas. There being no objection, therefore Resolution Number 846 is included under unassigned business.
Madam Presiding
Yes,
Officer,
proceed.
the resolution is already numbered po.
Oh, sorry.
794.
794.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Okay, I stand corrected. It is Resolution Number 794. Okay, Dato Eric Perez is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Amendment for inclusion under unassigned business, Madam Chair, is Resolution Number 847.
846.
846. Resolution Number 846, Series of 2026. A resolution granting the reactivation of dormant deposit account maintained by the City Government of Tagum with the Land Bank of the Philippines and the Development Bank of the Philippines. I so move, Madam Chair.
Moved by Dato Eric Perez, seconded by Councilor Aala and Rillion. There being no objection, therefore Resolution Number 846 is included under unassigned business.
Another amendment, Madam Chair, for inclusion is the Resolution Number 847, Series of 2026, a resolution authorizing Honorable Riti Uy, City Mayor and the City Treasurer, Ms. Annie G. Beltran, to execute all documents necessary for the reactivation of dormant deposit account maintained by the City Government of Tagum with the Land Bank of the Philippines and the Development Bank of the Philippines. I so move, Madam Chair.
Moved by Dato, seconded by Councilors Aala and Catayas, and there being no objection, therefore Resolution Number 847 is included under unassigned business. Summer inclusions, there being none, back to the main motion as amended 13 times. Is there any objection? There being none, therefore the calendar of business as amended 13 times is hereby adopted. Let us now proceed to the item under unfinished business.
Madam President, under unfinished business, we have Appropriation Ordinance Number 2, an ordinance appropriating the amount of 53,687,213 pesos and 1 centavo only to defray payment of expenditures embodied in Supplemental Budget Number 2 under the General Fund for calendar year 2026.
The Vice Chairperson of the Committee on Finance, Budget, and Appropriation, Dato Perez, is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. This is to respectfully inform this Honorable Council that this measure, Madam Chair, be laid on the table as the City Engineering Office has not yet submit the document previously requested by the committee. Since significant information must be submitted to the 10th Sangguniang Panlungsod so that will be properly informed about the purpose and intent for this supplemental budget number 2. Madam Presiding Officer, we will also request our good secretary to send another communication to the concerned office, city engineering, to submit the document requested by the Committee on Finance. I move, Madam Presiding Officer, that this supplemental budget number 2 be laid on the table until the requested document have been submitted. Madam Chair, I so move.
Moved by Dr. Eric Perez, seconded by Councilor Aala. Is there any discussion, amendment, objection? There being none, therefore, Appropriation Ordinance Number 2, Series of 2026 is laid on the table. And also, the Secretary to the Sanggunian is directed to send another communication reminding the CEO to submit the required documents. Okay, let us now proceed to measures under unassigned business. First item.
First item under unassigned business is Resolution Number 837, a resolution authorizing the local chief executive, Honorable Ray T. Uy, to enter into and sign for and on behalf of the city government of Tagum, the revised memorandum of agreement with the Department of Social Welfare and Development through the Social Technology Bureau and the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Field Office 11, for the implementation of Apoko, Kwento ni Lolo't Lola Gabay ng Kabataan project in the city of Tagum.
Councilor Revita is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Since copy of the said resolution has been distributed in advance to this August body, I move to dispense with the reading of the full text of Resolution Number 837, Series of 2026.
Moved by Councilor Revita, seconded by Councilor Aala, Rillion, and Eliot. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its approval on the second reading, Madam Chair.
Moved by Councilor Revita, seconded by Councilor Aala. Any discussion?
Discussion, Madam Chair. To give insights of the said revised memorandum, Madam Chair, I move for the suspension of our internal rules in order for us to accommodate our invited guest and to be accorded with the opportunity to give us information about this said subject matter. I so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
Okay, so moved by Councilor Revita, seconded by Councilor Aala. Those who are in favor for the suspension of the rules, please raise your right hand.
In favor, Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Eliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Uy Salazar, Councilor Kaasik, Councilor Ong, Councilor Lemos, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Rillion. Madam President, all members present are in favor.
All members present being in favor, therefore rules are now suspended.
May I request our invited guest?
The Sergeant at Arms is requested to please escort our guests in front.
Since suspended ang rules, balik tayo sa case. Meaning, walay rules na ato ang gina-follow karon. So, pwede mo sunod ang bisita. But, kung sa rules yun, sa part...
Okay, so good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon, Madam Presiding Officer.
Good afternoon, ma'am. So, Councilor Revita?
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. Can you give us the insights and the information about this memorandum, revised memorandum of agreement?
Good afternoon, Madam Presiding Officer and the August body of the Sanggunian, ang lungsod of Tagum City. Again, we are appealing again for the...
Before you proceed any further, yes, please state your name and your position, and the technical people, please adjust the volume of the microphone.
Good afternoon. I'm Shalene Parian of the Social Technology Unit Head of the Department of Social Welfare and Development in Field Office 11. So we are appealing again for the approval of the resolution authorizing City Mayor to sign the Memorandum of Agreement for the Project Apuco of in partnership with the SWD LGU of Tagum City and the Social Technology Bureau of the SWD Central Office. So the amendments may slight lang po na na-correct, no, sa updated or the revised version of the Memorandum of Agreement. So first is yung old version kasi lacks a dedicated or standalone article for fund transfer if in case may fund transfer. And then for the amendments na part, doon sa old version, hindi siya clear, no, nakalagay. But on the latest version, a dedicated article, which is article number 8, requiring written modification signed by authorized representative. And then next is the beneficiary selection. In the older version, LGU directly identifies and select beneficiaries and community sites. But since ang design po is center from the SWD and the nearest CDC or daycare center doon sa facility namin. So it was revised into LGU recommends beneficiary, the SWD retained final identification. So next is the entity naming. So sa first page kasi, sa previous or sa older version, ang nakalagay first party, second party, and third party. But on the latest version, it was replaced with the SWD Central Office or the Social Technology Bureau, the SWD FO11, and LGU of Tagum City. So pinalitan na natin siya instead of first, second, and third party.
Ma'am, can
yes
we
po.
go through the revisions page
Yes
by
po.
page?
Yes po. So, saan po ha? Sa fund transfer kasi, sa first version po, wala po talaga siya nakalagay. So, nilagay
Let's
siya.
go move page by page.
Yes
so
po.
that,
Sa page by page
page
po.
by page.
Sige po.
On the first page,
On the first page, entity naming lang po, no? From first party, second party, and third party, it was replaced with the SWD, the SWD FO11, and LGU of Tagum City. Yes po.
okay, I believe please correct me if I'm wrong, the highlighted with yellow, these are the amendments?
Yes po.
Okay, so there are many amendments on page 1 in my copy.
This part po kasi, it was corrected na po with the legal department of Tagum City. It was recommended po by the legal department of or section of Tagum City po. So that's why we revised it also based on the recommendation.
Okay, so proceed to page 2.
So on page 2, kasi on the previous version, in Article 1, number 8, child protection. In page 2, same lang din po, no, from first party, second party, and third party, it was replaced with the SWD, FO11, and LGU of Tagum. And then on, asan na? Okay. Yes, okay. Sa article number 1, number 3, nakalagay po, dinagdagan lang ng subject to existing budgetary accounting and auditing rules and regulations. And then number 4, actually in-enhance lang po ang sentence, no? Lead the demonstration of project components of the project mechanisms in close coordination with the concerned agencies. And then on the number 9, conduct capacity building activities for DREAM team members and project implementers and related stakeholders on child protection, active aging, and intergenerational engagement.
Ma'am, from the chair, who are the members of the DREAM team?
The-
Because it is not defined in the MOA.
Yes po. The members of the DREAM team po are the senior citizen in the home for the aged. It was selected based on the criteria set by the project po. No, healthy, and then they can explain well to the children in the daycare centers. And then, dito naman po sa part ng second party, no, nilagay lang po yung DSWD Field Office 11. And number 2, dinagdagan lang po na related to the project. On page 3, item number 7, coordinate with existing regional mechanisms excuse me, during the project implementation phase. No? This is on the part of the SWD Field Office 11. Number 8, adherence to child protection policies and guidelines. In the older version po kasi, nasa part lang siya ng DSWD Central Office, but on the latest version, it was included in the responsibilities of DSWD Field Office 11 and the local government of Tagum City po. Number 10, no, enhance lang din through the Social Technology Bureau, as well as number 11, through the Social Technology Bureau in the evaluation and assessment of the program after the activities are completed. On the part of the responsibilities of the LGU, it was rephrased, no? Recommend beneficiaries and specific communities within the locality where projects shall be implemented, but final identification will be assigned to the SWD. And number 3, participate in all phases in the implementation of the project, including all offices providing programs and services for older children. And also yung dinagdag natin as recommended by the Legal Department of Tagum City, which is number 8, no? Submit requests for support on the financial assistance to provide additional financial and logistical support, maintain coordination, collaboration with DSWD and DSWD FO 11, provide any financial support to be extended by the city shall be subject to availability of funds and strictly subject to applicable budgeting, accounting, and auditing laws, rules, and regulations. And on the transfer of funds naman po, on the transfer of funds, actually on the transfer of funds, wala po siyang difference. Wala siyang difference, oo. Yes. And on the data privacy, page number 4, in the old kasi na version, no clause requiring data sharing agreement. But in the latest version, introduces mandatory requirement for a formally executed data sharing agreement prior to sharing personal information of the dream team and the children in the CDCs. And on, let's go to page 5. On page 5, dispute and resolution. And on page 5, dispute resolution, wala naman po siyang changes. Intellectual property rights, wala din po siyang changes. Sa separability naman is, I think, wait lang po. Separability, wala din po change. Let's go to page 6. Right. Wala na. Wala ng page 6. I think that's it. Effectivity, dinagdagan po sa page, on the last page, effectivity and termination. Kasi sa previous na MOA, wala kasing nakalagay doon na specific na time frame, no? But on the latest version kasi nakalagay doon na 1 year po siya implementation.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you po.
A point of clarification from the chair. I just want to make sure, because I do not have a copy of the MOA we approved last week, but under the responsibility of the LGU number 9, provide additional financial and logistical support, maintain coordination and collaboration with DSWD and DSWD FO 11. Is this in the MOA we approved last week?
Yes po.
Because I can remember the financial obligations of the city. I think it was removed. There was a legal opinion about this.
Additional.
Provide additional financial and logistical support.
Okay. Naa siya.
Pero wala din gikuan lang din siya ki-enhance.
We revise it also, Madam Chair, based on the recommendation of the legal department of Tagum City to include yung line na subject to availability of funds.
Yeah, it's not here in the revised MOA.
In the revised MOA.
In the revised MOA, I cannot find the phrase subject to availability of funds.
Let me see.
The chair declares for a few minutes recess. Manigurado lang ko kay Marag.
Yes, ma'am.
Honorable Chair, before the resumption of the, since we are in recess, Honorable Chair.
We are no longer on recess.
Actually, sir, starting tomorrow, we'll be conducting na training for the Dream Team members on how to tell stories to the children, as well as child protection, classroom management. We will be conducting it here in Tagum City tomorrow hanggang Thursday po with the LGU, with CSWDO and the daycare workers po ng Visayan Village.
Okay, so thank you very much for that, ma'am. Councilor Revita.
Since there is no other question from the floor, may I move for the restoration of our internal rules. I so move, Madam Chair.
Moved by Councilor Revita, second by Councilor Catayas Aala and Perez. Rules are now restored. Okay, so we thank our guests for coming over. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Madam Chair, I move that this memorandum of agreement be referred on the proper committee on Wednesday.
For a committee meeting.
I so move.
Moved by Councilor Revita, seconded by Councilor Lemos, Aala, Rubinos, and Catayas. Any discussion, any amendment, any objection? There being none, therefore, this measure shall be referred to the committee subject to a committee meeting on Wednesday.
Committee on Laws.
With the Committee on Laws. So, okay, so with the Committee on Laws as the lead committee. Okay. As manifested by Councilor Lemos.
Ma'am, walang problema sa with Bernita.
Next item.
Next, Madam Chair, we have Resolution number 838, a resolution confirming Barangay Ordinance number 30, Series of 2026 of the Sangguniang Barangay of Magupo South, Tagum City, Davao del Norte.
Councilor Rubinos is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Since all members were already given a copy of resolution number 838, I move to dispense with this reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubinos, seconded by Councilors Rillion, Catayas, and Aala. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its approval on second reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubinos, seconded by Councilors Rillion and Aala. Any discussion?
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer. During the committee hearing last July 29, 2026, the Joint Committee observed that this ordinance aims to establish and institutionalize a safe, inclusive, and youth-friendly Teen Tambayan Youth Development Center that promotes the holistic development, health, leadership, and active participation of adolescents and young people. It also seeks to strengthen collaboration among the barangay, schools, families, and other stakeholders to ensure the effective management, sustainability, protection, and empowerment of the youth through community-based programs and services. After a careful deliberation, the members of the Joint Committee recommended that the Barangay Ordinance number 30 Series of 2026 be approved for second and final reading. That's all, Madam Presiding Officer.
Thank you for that. Some more discussion? There being none, proceed to the amendments.
Amendments, Madam Presiding Officer, that all members present be co-proponents.
Moved by Councilor Rubino, seconded by Councilors Rillion and Aala. There being no objection, therefore all members physically present shall be co-proponents of this resolution.
I move that this be approved for second and final reading, Madam Presiding
Moved by
Officer.
Councilor Rubino, seconded by Councilors Aala and Perez. Those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Uy Salazar, Councilor Kaasi, Councilor Ong, Councilor Lemos, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Rillion. Madam President, all members present are in favor.
All members present being in favor, therefore, resolution number 838 is approved on second and final reading. Next item.
Next is resolution number 839, a resolution returning Barangay Ordinance number 20, Series of 2025 of the Sangguniang Barangay of Magupo South, Tagum City, Davao del Norte.
Councilor Rubinos is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Since all members present were already given a copy of Resolution Number 839, I move to dispense with its reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubino, seconded by Councilor Aala and Revita. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its approval on second reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubino, second by Councilor Aala and Rillion. Any discussion?
Discussion, Madam Presiding Officer, that during the committee meeting last July 29, 2026, the committee observed that the minutes and attendance of the public hearing were not attached. And the committee further observed that this ordinance adopts the provisions of Section 54 of RA number 4136, otherwise known as the Land Transportation and Traffic Code, which prohibit motor vehicles from obstructing or impeding the passage of other vehicles, or while discharging or taking on passengers, or loading or unloading freight, obstructing the free passage of other vehicles on the road. And after a careful deliberation, Madam Presiding Officer, the members of the Joint Committee recommended that the minutes and attendance of the public hearing be attached, and that the provisions stated in the third whereas clause of this barangay ordinance be incorporated under the definition of terms, and that the corresponding penalties be provided under Section 7 or the penalties of the same ordinance. And also to return Barangay Ordinance Number 20 Series of 2025 to the Sangguniang Barangay of Magugpo South for further refinement. Madam Presiding Officer, that's all.
Discussion. Proceed to the amendments.
Amendments, Madam Presiding Officer, that all members present be co-proponents.
Moved by Councilor Rubina, seconded by Councilors Aala, Revita, Elliot, and Catayas. There being no objection, therefore all members physically present shall be co-proponents of this resolution.
I move that this be approved for second and final reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Rubino, seconded by Councilor Aala. Those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Luis Salazar, Councilor Kaasi, Councilor Ong, Councilor Lemos, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Rillion. Madam President, all members present are in favor.
All members present being in favor, therefore, Resolution Number 839 is approved on second and final reading. Next item.
Next item is Resolution Number 840, a resolution authorizing the General Services Officer, Mr. Roger J. Dompol, and or the City Legal Officer, Attorney Neil John A. Villarico, to institute, file, and sign the appropriate criminal, civil, and administrative actions, including all necessary pleadings, complaints, affidavits, verifications, certifications, and other legal documents against any person or persons responsible for the theft, unlawful taking, misappropriation, or other unauthorized disposition of properties of the city government of Tagum.
The Chairperson, Committee on Laws, Councilor Wakan, is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Considering that each and every member has been duly furnished with the copy of this draft resolution number 840, I therefore move to dispense with the reading of its full text.
Moved by Councilor Wakan, seconded by Councilor Kaasi, Aala, Catayas, and Revita. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its approval on second reading.
Moved by Councilor Wakan, seconded by Councilors Aala and Catayas. Any discussion?
Discussion, Madam Presiding Officer, that under the local government code, it is the city mayor is authorized to institute and sign or the cases that will be filed in behalf of the city government of Tagum. But by virtue of this resolution, Madam Presiding Officer, the City General Services Officer is also authorized to file the necessary cases for cases of theft, unlawful taking, and misappropriation or the unauthorized disposition of properties of the city government of Tagum. And the City Legal Officer, as being the principal legal counsel of the city government of Tagum, it is also authorized to institute, file, and sign the necessary complaints, pleadings, and affidavits and certifications. Madam Presiding Officer.
Okay, from the Chair, clarification. Can you give us the reason for this necessary, why is it necessary to file cases?
Yes,
Can you
Madam
give us
Presi-
a background?
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer, there was an incident of theft at the motor pool, Madam Presiding Officer, and then the culprits has been apprehended, and there is a necessity to file an immediate case to justify their continued detention in the PNP.
Okay. Thank you for that information. So any question from the other members? There being none, proceed to the amendments.
By virtue of amendment, Madam Presiding Officer, I move that the inclusion be added that the authority shall also include the authority to appear on mediation and enter into compromise agreements which are not grossly disadvantageous to the city government of Tagum.
Okay, so that amendment would be,
That would be added on the title, the nomenclature of the resolution itself, and another on the resolutory portion also, Madam Presiding Officer.
okay, so there's a motion to amend, seconded by Councilor Kaasi and Aala. Any discussion, any amendment to the amendment, objection to the amendment? There being none, therefore that amendment is hereby approved, amending the title and the now therefore portion of our resolution. Proceed.
Kay pag Monday to Friday,
I move for the approval of draft resolution number 840 on second and final reading, Madam Presiding Officer.
Moved by Councilor Wakan, seconded by Councilor Aala. Second and final reading? Okay. Can you subject this to form and style?
I move that this resolution number 840, Madam Presiding Officer, be subjected to form and style.
Moved by Councilor Wakan, seconded by Councilors Catayas and Aala. There being no objection, therefore resolution number 840 shall be subject to form and style.
I move for the approval on second and final reading, Madam
Moved by
Presiding.
Councilor Wakan, seconded by Councilor Uy Salazar and Aala. Those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, we have Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Uy Salazar, Councilor Kaasi, Councilor Ong, Councilor Lemos, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Rillion. Madam President, all members present are in favor.
All members present being in favor, therefore, resolution number 840 is approved on second and final reading. Next item, please.
Next item is resolution number 841, a resolution authorizing the city mayor, Honorable Reti Uy, to enter into and sign for and in behalf of the city government of Tagum, the amended memorandum of agreement with the Department of Transportation for the establishment of active transport infrastructure project in Tagum City.
Councilor Wakan, what is your pleasure?
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. This pertains to draft resolution number 841. Considering that the copies of the said resolution has been duly furnished to each and every member of the 10 City Council, I therefore move to dispense with the reading of its full text.
Moved by Councilor Wakan, seconded by Councilor Aala and Catayas. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its approval on second reading.
Moved by Councilor Wakan, seconded by Councilor Aala. Any discussion?
Discussion, Madam Presiding Officer. This has been certified urgent by the local chief executive. This is an amendment to the previously issued Sangguniang Panglusod Resolution number 634, series of 2026. In particular, the amended portion of the Memorandum of Agreement, Madam Presiding Officer, as reflected on the duly furnished copies to each and every member. The main amendment, Madam Presiding Officer, is as to the amount on page 3. This memorandum, if I may refer, the one that has been marked as red, the Memorandum of Agreement covers a total of 29,072,164 pesos and 95 centavos sourced from the budget allocation under the General Appropriations Act or GAA 2025, which is inclusive of the approved project cost amounting to 28,200,000 and engineering and administrative overhead amounting to 872,164.95 centavos. The amount the previously approved, Madam Presiding Officer, only involves 28,200,000 pesos. However, by virtue of this amendment, the amount has been increased to 29,072,164.95 centavos, which is inclusive of the engineering and administrative overhead amounting to 872,164.95 centavos. However, the amount that will be downloaded to the city government of Tagum would be only 28,200,000 pesos. The 872,164 will be retained by the DOTR as its engineering and administrative overhead cost.
Okay, so from the chair, Councilor Wakan, under the there are a lot of amendments here. So those in red, I think, are the amendments made. So as to the responsibilities of the city government of Tagum, kindly discuss the amendments made because there are, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs that have been amended, and there are 3 entirely new paragraphs
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer.
under the obligation, responsibilities of the city government. So kindly discuss this to the body.
Okay, first, as discussed earlier, Madam Presiding Officer, the amendment as contained in page 3. And further discussion on the amount, on the additional amount is on page 4, section 3.5. Up to section 5, first paragraph. This is also part of section 3.5 as to the additional administrative and engineering cost. And as to the sections, further amendments under page 6, particularly A and H, these are reportorial requirements this is normal reportorial requirements, Madam Presiding Officer, included in the MOA. If I may be allowed to read A, in the event that the funds have been previously transferred to the city government of Tagum, the DOTR chief accountant shall issue a certification that the said funds have been liquidated and accounted in the book of accounts. Second, the same page number, page 6, letter H, receive and record the validated Bureau of Treasury remittance slip and supporting documents submitted by the city government of Tagum, evidencing the remittance of any unexpended program funds, including interest earned and audit disallowance, if any, in accordance with applicable Treasury rules and regulations. Under page 7, Madam Presiding Officer, on the paragraph B.
Yes, under the obligations of the city government.
Yes, responsibilities of the city government of Tagum. Open a trust account solely made for this project in its authorized government depository bank and maintain separate and distinct book of accounts for the project. The amendment, added provision, the city government shall submit an official certification issued by the respective depository bank verifying and confirming its status as an authorized government depository bank of the city government of Tagum. And letter D, submit list of bonded officials issued by the Bureau of Treasury confirming bonding of accountable officials and employee. And letter E, part of the amendment is within 10 working days after the end of each month, the city government of Tagum shall submit the report of checks issued or RCI and the report of cash disbursement or RCD ISB disbursement, even when no project funds are disbursed, to report the utilization of funds. The report shall be approved by the head of the city government of Tagum. And letter F, all interest, income, and other earnings derived from the program funds transferred pursuant to this agreement shall accrue to and inure to the benefit of the national government in accordance with Section 65, Paragraph 1 of the Presidential Decree Number 1445 and other applicable laws, rules, and regulations. The city government of Tagum shall ensure the timely remittance of such interest income to the Bureau of Treasury through the National Treasury in accordance with applicable Treasury laws, rules, and regulations. The city government of Tagum shall furnish the DOTR chief accountant with copies of the validated proof of remittance together with the corresponding certifications and supporting documents. Failure to comply with these obligations shall constitute sufficient ground for the DOTR to suspend any subsequent transfer or release funds under this agreement without prejudice to any administrative, civil, criminal, and other liabilities provided under the applicable laws, rules, and regulations. And letter G, remit directly to the Bureau of Treasury regular fund any unexpended program funds and audit disallowance, if any, upon project completion and after proper accounting and reconciliation within 30 calendar days after project completion or within 15 calendar days after project turnover and acceptance, whichever comes earlier in accordance with the applicable Treasury laws, rules, and regulations. The city government of Tagum shall furnish the DOTR chief accountant with a copy of the validated Bureau of Treasury remittance slip together with the supporting documentation. And under page 8, section 5.8, the amended portion, the city government of Tagum shall provide reasonable logistical assistance to the DOTR and other authorized government personnel during project implementation, including facilitating access to project sites and whenever necessary and practicable, coordinating the provision of transportation and appropriate safety and security arrangement during project inspections, monitoring activities, and turnover inspections. And then on Article 6, termination and or rescission, on the same page 8, the last paragraph of the said article, any unexpended program funds, including interest earned thereon, and audit disallowance, if any, after proper accounting and reconciliation, shall be remitted by the city government of Tagum directly to the Bureau of Treasury regular fund in accordance with the applicable Treasury rules and regulations. The city government of Tagum shall furnish the DOTR chief accountant with a copy of the validated Bureau of Treasury remittance slip together with supporting documentation. And part of also of the, on page 2, Madam Presiding Officer, there is a red mark also that the date until December 31, 2026. If I may read the full phrase of the whereas in line with the implementation of the cash-based budgeting system adopted by the national government it is emphasized that funds allocated under the General Appropriations Act or GAA for fiscal year 2025 may only be obligated and disbursed within a period of 2 years or until December 31, 2026 pursuant to applicable budgetary rules and regulations. The previously issued MOA and resolution resolution 64, the date was until December 31, 2027, but now the amendment will provide until December 31, 2026. But the word here, Madam Presiding Officer, is may only be obligated and disbursed within a period of 2 years until December 31, 2026. It's not project completion report or the completion report that will be submitted. Only the requirements is for it to be obligated and disbursed.
So thank you for that discussion, Councilor Wakan. Are there questions from the members? If there are none, please proceed to the amendments. Yes, Councilor Aala.
I would just like to have a point of clarification, Honorable Chair, because this may we have be oriented with this Tagum active transport infrastructure project. Nabagyo tay at least makita na to plans ani with regarding an infrastructure plans kaya para at least makabalumi with regarding ani. And another Honorable Chair, point of manifestation lang, Honorable Chair, that hopefully next time if there are memorandum that it needs to be urgent, Honorable Chair, may we all of my fellow colleagues will be provided, Honorable Chair, so that we will not be blinded by the discussion, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Okay, so you do not have a copy of the memorandum? It was distributed earlier under addendum.
And Madam Presiding Officer, in answer to the first question, Madam Presiding Officer, under this program, Madam Presiding Officer, it was presented and discussed when we have an executive legislative agenda held at Palm Villas, Madam Presiding Officer, that the walkability of within the city of Tagum as to the pedestrian lanes, the bike lanes, the sidewalks, those were all presented during the executive legislative agenda, which was held, I think, last year. Madam Presiding Officer, attended by the department heads and, of course, members of this 10th City Council. And as to the copies which was not distributed, Madam Presiding Officer, may I refer that to the Honorable Sangguniang Secretary, if the office of Honorable Councilor Rex Jasper Aala has been duly furnished and a proof that there was really a receipt of that copy of this memorandum of agreement.
May we know from the Secretary if Councilor Aala's office was provided with a copy? Okay, kindly assist him. Okay, so some more queries, some more questions. Yes, Councilor Ong.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Just for clarification, on page 2, on the 5th whereas, it states that the DOTR through Republic Act number 12116 or the General Appropriations Act of 2025 has a budgetary appropriations for the active transport bike share system and safe pathways program amounting to 60 million pesos. And for the active transport program in metropolitan areas, highly urbanized cities, and independent component cities shall be used to construct, maintain, and improve protected bike lanes and pedestrian walkways, procure bike racks, construct and improve end-of-trip cycling and other support facilities, and upgrade existing pop-up bike lanes to permanent bike lanes in accordance with DOTR DO number 20014, DPWH DO number 263, series of 2022, and other applicable guidelines promoting and prioritizing active transportation. This shall include the planting of urban shade trees consistent with environmental laws. Just for clarification, Madam Presiding Officer, was this subjected to the available funds? Was the 29,072,000 subjected to the available funds or the remaining funds from the DOTR?
Okay, so the proponent is requested to please answer the query.
So, as worded, Madam Presiding Officer, under the GAA, the total amount allocated for this particular project is 60 million. And by virtue of this MOA, the city government of Tagum is only allocated the amount of 29,072,164 and 95 centavos. So, as to the other remaining funds to complete the 60 million, I cannot answer that in behalf of the DOTR, Madam Presiding Officer.
Okay, thank you, Madam. Thank you.
Okay, so some more queries? If there are none, proceed to the amendments.
For the amendment on the draft resolution number 841, Madam Presiding Officer, I move that the said resolution be subjected to form and style.
Moved by Councilor Wakan, seconded by Councilor Ong and Catayas. There being no objection, therefore, resolution number 841 shall be subject to form and style.
For additional amendment, Madam Presiding Officer, I move that all members present be made as co-proponent of this draft resolution number 841.
Moved by Councilor Wakan, seconded by Councilor Aala and Ong. There being no objection, all members physically present shall be co-proponents of this resolution.
I move for the approval of draft resolution number 841 on second and final reading, Madam Presiding
Moved by
Officer.
Councilor Wakan, seconded by Councilor Aala, Elliot, and Catayas. Those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Uy Salazar, Councilor Kaasi, Councilor Ong, Councilor Lemos. Councilor Lemos is not around. Councilor Wakan, Councilor Rillion. Madam President, all members physically present are in favor.
All members physically present being in favor, therefore, resolution number 841 is approved on second and final reading. May we know the whereabouts of Councilor Lemos?
Asan siya? Whereabouts pa? Wala siya bisa dyan sa car. Siya na lang, oh.
Okay, so next item, proceed.
Next item, Madam Chair, is
Represented.
Draft City Ordinance number 117, an ordinance institutionalizing the pre-marriage orientation and counseling program of the City of Tagum, providing its policy, guidelines, funding, and for other purposes.
Councilor Uy Salazar is recognized.
Presiding Officer, allow me to present Draft City Ordinance number 117, Series of 2026. And since all members of this council were already furnished with copies of this draft ordinance, I move to dispense with the reading of the full text of the same.
Moved by Councilor Uy Salazar, seconded by Councilors Aala, Rillion, and Catayas. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is hereby dispensed with.
Madam Presiding Officer, I move for its approval on second reading.
Moved by Councilor Uy Salazar, seconded by Councilor Catayas and Rillion, Elliot, and Revita. Any discussion?
Madam Presiding Officer, esteemed colleagues, I have the honor to sponsor for approval the proposed ordinance amending and institutionalizing the pre-marriage orientation and counseling program of the City of Tagum. Strong communities begin with strong families. As public servants, we have the responsibility not only to address existing social concerns, but also to invest in preventive measures that help families succeed from the very beginning. This ordinance recognizes that marriage is not merely a legal union, but a lifelong commitment that requires preparation, understanding, and shared responsibility. For more than 2 decades, Tagum City has already implemented a pre-marriage counseling program to help couples prepare for married life. This proposed ordinance builds on that foundation by adopting the updated national guidelines and strengthening the city's delivery of pre-marriage orientation and counseling services. Through this measure, prospective couples will receive more comprehensive guidance on marriage, responsible parenthood, and family life, while ensuring better coordination among the offices and partners responsible for implementing the program. By strengthening the PMOC program, the city reaffirms its commitment to building stronger families and promoting the well-being of future generations through informed and responsible marriages. For these reasons, I respectfully seek the favorable consideration and approval of this proposed ordinance. Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer.
Thank you for that information. Proceed, Councilor Luis Salazar.
Madam Presiding Officer, if there are no other floor amendments to be introduced by the members of the Sanggunian, I move that all members present be co-proponents of this ordinance.
Moved by Councilor Luis Salazar, seconded by Councilors Revita, Kaasi, Ala, and Rillion. There being no objection, all members physically present shall be co-proponents of Draft City Ordinance Number 117.
I move that this measure for now be approved on second reading only.
Okay, so any objection? There being none, therefore, Draft City Ordinance Number 117 is approved on second reading. Next item.
Next, we have Resolution Number 842, a resolution authorizing the City Mayor, Honorable Reti Uy, to sign for and in behalf of the City Government of Tagum, the Memorandum of Agreement with the 101 Wellness Spa for the implementation of the on-the-job training component of the community-based training for enterprise development program.
Madam Chair.
Councilor Ong is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Since resolutions number 842, 843, 844, and 845 are of the same nature and all pertaining to the Memorandum of Agreement between the LG of Tagum and the following four establishments: 101 Wellness Spa, KACC Auto Care Center, Vitruasco, and RCC Car Care Center for the implementation of the on-the-job training component of the community-based training for enterprise development program, I move for the omnibus motion in the presentation of these resolutions. I so move, Madam Chair.
Proceed for the omnibus presentation. Proceed, Councilor Ong.
Since copies have been furnished to this august body, I move to dispense with the reading of resolutions number 842, 843, 844, 845 series of 2026. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Ong, seconded by Councilor Catayas. There being no objection, the reading of the full text of these four resolutions are dispensed with.
I move for its approval on second reading, Madam Chair.
Moved by Councilor Ong, seconded by Councilor Catayas. Any discussion?
Just a brief discussion, Madam Presiding Officer. Madam Chair, these measures were thoroughly deliberated upon the committee during the committee meeting held last July 29, 2026, with the attendance of the representatives from the City Public Employment Service and Capability Development Office, as well as the authorized representatives of 101 Wellness Spa, KACC Auto Car Center, RCC Car Care Center, and the Visayan Village Tagum Rural Waterworks and Multi-Service Cooperative. During the committee deliberations, it was emphasized that the proposed memoranda of agreement are firmly anchored on the constitutional policy of promoting accessible quality education and vocational skills training to enhance the employability and productivity of our constituents. Through the CPESDO, in partnership with TESTA, the City Government of Tagum continuously implements the community-based training for enterprise development program, which equips qualified beneficiaries with industry-relevant technical skills. This memorandum of agreement seeks to strengthen the partnerships between the City Government and the partner establishments by facilitating the mandatory 5-day on-the-job training component of the CBTE-D program. Under the proposed agreements, 101 Wellness Spa shall serve as the industry partner for trainees enrolled in Hilot and C2. KACC Auto Car Care Center and RRC Car Care Center shall provide workplace immersion for trainees taking automotive servicing, NC2, and Vitruasco shall serve as the industry partner for trainees enrolled in plumbing, NC2. The committee likewise noted that these partner establishments possess the necessary facilities, technical expertise, and operational environment to provide meaningful workplace exposure for the trainees. They have likewise expressed their commitment to provide proper supervision, mentorship, and practical learning opportunities throughout the duration of the internship. Moreover, the proposed agreements clearly define the respective responsibilities of both the city government and the partner agencies. This includes the designation of OJT coordinators and supervisors, monitoring of trainee performances, compliance with occupational safety standards, issuance of certificates of completion, and the requirement of each trainee to execute a duly notarized waiver of claims prior to deployment, in accordance with the provisions of Memorandum of Agreement. Madam Chair, after careful evaluation and thorough deliberation, the committee found the provisions of the proposed memoranda of agreement to be sufficient, proper, and in order. These resolutions are more than mere authority for the city mayor to execute the proposed memoranda of agreement. They represent the city's continuing investment in human capital, development, and workforce readiness. Through these partnerships with our industry stakeholders, we reaffirm our commitment to providing our constituents with quality technical training, meaningful workplace exposure, and greater opportunities for employment and sustainable livelihood. For these reasons, the committee respectfully solicits the favorable consideration and approval of these measures. That would be all, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you for that. So any member would like to ask questions? There being none, proceed to the amendments.
Amendment, Madam Chair. The resolution numbers 842, 843, 844, and 845 be subjected to form and style. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Ong, seconded by Councilor Aala and Catayas. There being no objection, therefore these 4 resolutions shall be subject to form and style.
Another, Madam Chair. I move that all members present shall be co-proponents.
Moved by Councilor Ong, seconded by Councilor Aala. There being no objection, therefore all members present shall be co-proponents of these resolutions.
I move to approve on second and final reading resolutions number 842, 843, 844, and 845 series of 2026.
Moved by Councilor Ong, seconded by Councilor Aala. Those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Uiso Lazar, Councilor Kaasi, Councilor Ong, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Rillion. Madam President, all members physically present are in favor.
All members physically present being in favor, therefore resolution numbers 842, 843, 844, and 845 are approved on second and final reading. Next item.
Next item is resolution number 794, a resolution commending and congratulating Mr. Matthews Von Johnson, athlete of the Philippine National Youth Archery Team, for winning 4 gold medals in the under-18 compound men category of the 2026 Singapore Youth Archery Championship held on July 3 to 5, 2026 at Bukit Gombak Stadium, Singapore.
Councilor Rillion is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. I move to dispense the reading of draft resolution number 794 series of 2026.
Moved by Councilor Rillion, seconded by Councilor Catayas. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
Madam Presiding Officer, I move for its approval on second reading.
Moved by Councilor Rillion, seconded by Councilor Aala and Catayas. Any discussion?
Discussion, Madam Presiding Officer. During the committee hearing conducted last Wednesday, the members of the esteemed committee took cognizance of the achievement of Mr. Matthews Von Johnson, a resident of Barangay Visayan Village, Tagum City, and a member of the Philippine National Youth Archery Team who represented the Philippines in the 2026 Youth Archery Championship held on July 3 to 5, 2026 in Singapore. During the said hearing or meeting, Mr. Johnson shared his remarkable experience as an athlete during representing the country in competing the under-18 compound men category. On the other hand, one of the members of the Committee on Youth and Sports Dev commended Mr. Johnson's achievement, noting that the athlete's success is a product of years of discipline, training, and perseverance. Madam Presiding Officer, with this representation would like to solicit support from the members of this august body in supporting the achievement of a Tagumen youth who represented not just the city of Tagum, but the whole of Philippines in the said prestigious sports event. That would be all, Madam Presiding Officer.
Thank you for that, Councilor Rillion. But from the chair would like to know the residence of Mr. Johnson. From what barangay?
It was stated here, Madam Presiding Officer, Barangay Visayan Village.
Under what paragraph?
It is under... Wait. May I ask for a minute recess, Madam Presiding Officer?
The chair declares for a minute recess. Wala, no?
Naara siya sa committee report, tita.
Madam Presiding Officer, I would like to propose an amendment for one of the whereases. Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. I move to amend the third whereas of the said measure to include the residency of Mr. Johnson on the third whereas after his name. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Rillion, seconded by Councilors Kaasi, Catayas, and Aala. There being no objection, that amendment is hereby approved.
Madam Presiding Officer, I move that all members physically present be co-proponent of the said measure.
Moved by Councilor Rillion, seconded by Councilors Catayas and Aala. There being no objection, all members physically present shall be co-proponents of draft resolution number 794.
Finally, Madam Presiding Officer, I move that this piece of legislation be approved for second and final reading.
Moved by Councilor Rillion, seconded by Councilors Aala and Catayas. Those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Uy Salazar, Councilor Kaasi, Councilor Ong, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Rillion. Madam President, all members physically present are in favor.
All members physically present being in favor, therefore, resolution number 794 is approved on second and final reading. Next item.
Next item is resolution number 846, a resolution granting the reactivation of dormant deposit accounts maintained by the City Government of Tagum with the Land Bank of the Philippines and the Development Bank of the Philippines.
Councilor Perez is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Since copies of the said resolution has been distributed in advance in this the members of the August body, I move to dispense with the reading of the full text of the resolution number 846 series of 2026.
Moved by Dato Perez, seconded by Councilor Catayas and Aala. There being no objection, therefore the reading of the full text of resolution number 846 is dispensed with.
I move for its approval on the second reading, Madam Chair.
Moved by Dato Perez, seconded by Councilors Catayas and Aala. Any discussion?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a short information, Madam Chair, that the City Government of Tagum maintains various deposit accounts with the Land Bank of the Philippines and the Development Bank of the Philippines for the receipt, safekeeping, and disbursement of the government funds in accordance with the existing laws, rules, and regulation. There are 4 dormant city accounts for activation, Madam Chair. Of this, the 3 accounts are maintained in the Land Bank of the Philippines, and 1 is in the Development Bank of the Philippines. The following deposit accounts became dormant due to the absence of transaction for a prolonged period. The accounts are as follows: 3 accounts from Land Bank of the Philippines, the City Government of Tagum, Strategic Energy Development Incorporated, INC, DLF ER-194, account number 0342-124860 is Trust Fund. The second account, Madam Chair, is the City Government of Account Strategic Energy Development Incorporated, RWMHEEF ER1-94, account number 0342-124-879 Trust Fund. And the third account is 5% Calamity Fund account number 0342-126669 General Fund. And 1 account from DBP, DSW Fund account number 0916-027-505030 Trust Fund. The reactivation of this dormant account is necessary to restore their operational status and ensure the efficient management of the government funds and uninterrupted financial transaction of the City Government of Tagum. The Land Bank of the Philippines and Development Bank of the Philippines require an authority from the City Government of Tagum granting the reactivation of the dormant account in the execution of documents necessary to facilitate such reactivation. That's all, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you for that information. Proceed to the amendments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that all members present shall be co-proponent of this resolution.
Moved by Dato Perez, seconded by Councilor Catayas. There being no objection, therefore all members physically present shall be co-proponents of Resolution Number 846.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With a strong recommendation of the members of the committee, Madam Chair, I move that this piece of legislation be approved on second and final reading, Madam Chair.
Moved by Dato Eric Perez, seconded by Councilor Catayas. Those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Uy Salazar, Councilor Kaasi, Councilor Ong, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Rillion. Madam President, all members physically present are in favor.
All members physically present being in favor, therefore Resolution Number 846 is approved and second and final reading. Last item.
Last item, Madam Chair, is Resolution Number 847, a resolution authorizing Honorable Rayty Uy, City Mayor, and the City Treasurer, Ms. Annie G. Beltran, to execute all documents necessary for the reactivation of dormant deposit accounts maintained by the City Government of Tagum with the Land Bank of the Philippines and the Development Bank of the Philippines.
Dato Perez is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Since copies of the said resolution, the Resolution 847, Madam Chair, I move to dispense with the reading of this full text of Resolution Number 847, Series of 2026.
Moved by Dato Perez, seconded by Councilor Catayas. There being no objection, the reading of its full text is dispensed with.
I move for its approval on the second reading, Madam Chair.
Moved by Dato Perez, seconded by Councilor Catayas. There being no objection. Any discussion?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a short information, Madam Chair. In connection with the previously approved resolution authorizing the reactivation of the dormant deposit accounts of the City Government of Tagum, one of the documentary requirements imposed by the Land Bank of the Philippines in the Development Bank of the Philippines is a separate resolution specifically authorizing the City Mayor and the City Treasurer to execute and submit all documents necessary for the reactivation of the said account. Accordingly, there is a need to further authorize the City Mayor and the City Treasurer to represent the City Government of Tagum before the Land Bank of the Philippines in the Development Bank of the Philippines, and to execute, sign, and submit all documents, certification, and other requirements necessary to facilitate effect the reactivation of the said dormant deposit account. Hence, there is a need to approve this resolution to comply with the documentary requirements of the concerned government banks to ensure the immediate
Okay siya, Dato. Oo.
to facilitate and effect the reactivation of the said dormant deposit account. There is a need to approve this resolution to comply with the documentary requirements of the concerned government banks to ensure the immediate reactivation of city dormant accounts. That's all, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you for that information, Dato. And proceed to the amendments.
Amendment, Madam Chair, that in the fourth whereas clause, the resolution number should be reflected in the final draft resolution. I so move, Madam Chair.
Moved by Dato Eric Perez, seconded by Councilor Catayas and Revita. There being no objection, that amendment is hereby approved.
Lastly, Madam Chair, I move that all members present shall be co-proponent of this resolution.
Moved by Dato Perez, seconded by Councilors Catayas and Rillion. There being no objections, though those physically present shall be co-proponents of this resolution.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With a strong recommendation of the members of the committee, Madam Chair, I move that this piece of legislation be approved in second and final reading.
Moved by Dato Eric Perez, seconded by Councilor Catayas. Those who are in favor, please raise your right hand.
In favor, we have Councilor Perez, Councilor Catayas, Councilor Aala, Councilor Rubinos, Councilor Elliot, Councilor Revita, Councilor Uy Salazar, Councilor Kaasi, Councilor Ong, Councilor Wakan, and Councilor Rillion. Madam President, all members physically present are in favor.
All members physically present being in favor, therefore Resolution Number 847 is approved on second and final reading. Announcements. Yes, Councilor Rubinos is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. May I request, Madam Chair, to adjust the time of the Joint Committee meeting this coming Thursday, August 6, 2026. Instead of 9 a.m., it would be 8 a.m., Madam Chair.
Very
Thank you.
well. So, kindly make the necessary adjustment to the schedule of joint committee meeting. Okay, so summer announcements. Since there is none, since all matters have been taken up and acted upon, and if there is no objection from the floor, the chair will now adjourn the session. There being no objection, session is now adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.